Hello, Garland Nixon here, and I am back for a quick update on a interesting story that just popped up on the possibility of Joe Biden being in trouble for bribery. Let's talk. Hi, Garland Nixon, and I am back already. And something popped up. I was just happened to be looking around and on the news, sitting there waiting. I was going to watch, watching the 76ers and the Boston Celtics, right? I'm then lay on the couch being lazy. And I'm reading through and I see this article about the possibility of Joe Biden being in trouble for bribery. Now, let me start by saying this. When the Seymour Hirsch article, first Hirsch Nord Stream article came out, Biden's the Nord Stream bomber. When the Seymour Hirsch, I said I didn't say that real loud because I don't want YouTube to hear me. But no, come on, everybody knows who the Nord Stream bomber is. But at any rate, all jokes aside, so when this stuff came out from Seymour Hirsch and I read it, and it was fairly obvious that let's just say it was credible, right? You read it and there's details and I'm getting somewhere with this. So as I always say, stick with me. When I first saw the Nord Stream article and the Seymour Hirsch stuff, I thought, you know what? It's awful detailed. Lies more often than not are going to be more kind of vague, you know what I mean? But this was really super incredibly detailed, right? Hey, people, I got this from people that were in the meeting, that were in the room with Biden. He said this, and Jake Sullivan did this, and that person. So here's what was interesting about that. The Nord Stream allegations against Biden were intricately detailed. But the denial by the Biden team was extremely vague. Imagine that. The allegations were intricately detailed. The denials, but the few denials that we got were vague. Fact of the matter is, the only thing we got from the Biden administration on that is that's lies. They didn't say, imagine this. Imagine if somebody gave an intricately detailed allegation against you and you were innocent, right? Hey, it's Chicken Patty, whoever, Rolf Steiner, you name it, Ryan Wagner, one of you people, right? One of my dear friends came out and said, something came out that was like, well, oh, Rolf, whoever, Chicken Patty, whatever, on May the 1st, they drove a 1987 F-150 pickup from their home to Garland's house, entered through the back door, carrying a 4.5-inch fillet knife, which they shoved into his thorax. And they screamed into his ear, die, you YouTube scumbag, die. And they just went on with details. Now, this is how they plotted it. 4 days earlier, they all met together at a YouTube chat session and they said, how are we going to kill Garland? Now, Rolf had one plan, but Chicken Patty said, that's not going to work, but I got a knife at home. And in fact, I bought the knife at a sporting goods store. Actually, it's not that sharp, so we're going to have to get it. And they went into all of this intricate detail and none of you were involved. What would you say? They got to be out of their mind. You would say, it's a lie. I want to know who said it. Every person involved would come out and say, this is book. What are you talking about? And you know what else you'd say? You'd say things like, I haven't bought a 4-inch fillet knife from a sporting goods store. Check my credit card, check whatever you want. I'm innocent. I am not involved with the death of Garland. And even more importantly, he ain't even dead. What the hell are you talking about, right? You would look at that and you would take that allegation apart. An intricately detailed allegation against you for the murder of Garland would quickly be denied and taken apart by you. Everyone. It wouldn't be like some of the people, if they named 4 people out of the chat, that 2 of them would say, oh, it's just a bunch of lies. And the other 2 would be like, hey, Rolf Steiner, were you involved in the murder of Garland? Hey, so how about those Bears, huh? Great. I think they're going to have a good offensive line this year. Quarterback's a little question. No. Did you kill Garland? You wouldn't do that. You would be like, I can't believe that somebody's accusing me of murder, particularly when the guy's not dead. What the hell are you talking about? Right? You would bring out the inconsistencies. The guy that I'm accused of killing ain't dead. Right? You would bring out the issues with the story on the day that Garland was allegedly killed. Oh, by the way, he's not dead. I was at work that day. Here's my time card. I worked 8 to 4. Well, I worked 2 hours of overtime. Couldn't have possibly did it. Not to mention, I'm in friggin' Indiana. The guy's in Maryland. He's 1,000 miles. Get out of here with that, right? So you would deny it. You would provide evidence. You'd do everything. You'd say, you know what? You guys want to do an investigation? I want you to investigate it. I want you to look at, start by coming talking to me. Here you go. Here's my time card on the date of the alleged murder of the guy who ain't even dead. Let's start here. Why don't you go talk to the body? Because he ain't dead, right? You would push for an investigation. You would say, I want an investigation immediately because I wasn't involved and this guy's still alive. What the hell are you doing a death investigation for a guy that's still alive? You would have everything lined up. I'm ready. He ain't dead and I didn't kill him and I couldn't kill him if he ain't dead, right? You're all ready, everything. The interesting thing about the Nord Stream thing is radio silence from Biden and those people. You had like somebody who one of their spokesperson come out and call it live. Have you heard Victoria Nuland? No one involved. Biden, come on, look, Nord Stream, never heard of it. A pipeline, smite line. I don't know what you could either talk. I didn't do it. Tell them, but bring the evidence to me in front of me because I didn't do it. And you know what else? I'm the president. If I find out who came up with that lie, their hide is mine. They are done. If I find out who said that, they're going down because that's a lie. I want you to come investigate it. You know what? I want to know who blew up Nord Stream. Look at, isn't that what you'd say? If you were Joe Biden and Victoria Nuland and Tony Blinken and you didn't do it, wouldn't you? I want an investigation. In fact, you'd say, in fact, Germany is my ally. And I want to look into that because we got to know who did it. Instead, conspicuously, the Biden team's like, well, they're like, hey, did you guys blow up the pipeline? So how do you think the Commanders are going to do this year? Well, I don't know. I'm not into football. I kind of like the Caps myself. I think they're going to be all right. I mean, they got a good goalie. They got a strong front line. I think they're going to do good. Yeah. No, you wouldn't be doing that. You would be trying to look into it. So what has the Biden team done from the very beginning? Hey, here's the allegations against you. Hey, you know what? They're calling for an investigation at the UN. What do you have to say? Oh, yeah. Come on now. I mean, Germany was attacked. It was a military attack against the infrastructure of Europe. And we're the leaders of NATO, and we're supposed to protect Europe against military attacks. And in fact, there was a military attack against one of the members of NATO, correct? Yes. What do you want to do? There's no need to look into that. Everything's fine. We got to go to the Baltic Sea. We're going to do some naval exercise where we simulate protecting Germany's infrastructure from an attack. But in the event that there is actually an attack, we don't want to investigate it because we don't want to find out who did it. But don't bother us. We can't really talk about investigating the military attack on Germany right now because we're setting up another NATO exercise where we practice defending Germany from a military attack. I think we know the bottom line of that. Now, why did I say all of that in the midst of the new bribery scheme against Biden? First of all, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the whole Hunter Biden story, but it is fairly obvious that the Biden team is crooked as a rattlesnake, that the Biden family are nothing but grifters, that they're using Joe Biden's name to enrich themselves. They're crooked as a barrel of fish hooks. I mean, on and on what they're crooked as. But let me tell you something. These people are crooked. So at this point, Biden didn't know anything about the laptop. He didn't know anything about the 51 intelligence officials that Blinken was lying about. So you got a pack of grifters, crooks, criminals. The Biden team, they're grifters. They're filling their filthy, stinking, rotten pockets. They're liars because, hey, if you're going to steal, you got to lie about your stealing, right? They're liars. They're thieves. They're crooks. They are the lowest scum on earth, right? And I mean, I feel bad for addiction, but his son has issues, and his daughter apparently has accused Joe Biden of taking inappropriate showers with her. We ain't gonna touch that one because it just makes my skin crawl to think about it. Inappropriate showers with his daughter. Let's move on. So let's not do any of that Dalai Lama tongue sticking stuff. We don't do that here. That's not the direction we're going. We're trying to stay, really professional. All right. So why do I say all of that? Because when that happened, not to mention, let me add this, at some point, recently, Seymour Hersh had another article, and he had more leaks from the intel community. And one of the things that we learned is they're furious at Biden. They were furious at Biden because they thought it was really stupid to attack Nord Stream. Imagine that. They were also furious with Biden because they said, look, if we're going to do this, you got to keep your mouth shut. And Biden and Nuland and Blinken and the rest of these idiots went right out and blabbed. They blew up the Nord Stream. They didn't even wait till it was blown. They're like, we got a plan to blow the Nord Stream. Yeah, great idea. Okay. You sure we ought to do this, Biden? Shut up. We're doing it. Okay, we're blowing Nord Stream. And then the intelligence is like, but whatever you do, you can't say anything. Ixnay on the Ord Stream nay, right? No, everybody, when we leave this room, can we agree we will not talk about the Nord Stream bombing? And Biden and all Sullivan, oh no, never. We didn't say anything of us. Talk about Nord Stream bombing? Come on, we don't. That's not what we do, man. Mum's the word. Radio silence. You ain't hear nothing out of me. Friggin' Biden walks out to the microphone. If Nord Stream is the Russians invade, Nord Stream's done, finished, game over. Ooh. Hey, what do you mean by that, Joe Biden? Trust me when I tell you this. Just me when I tell you this. I got a plan. If they do that, it's Nord Stream. And what does Victoria Nuland say? Yeah, they do that. Russians do if they so much as blink. Literally. Nord Stream will be a hunk of metal at the bottom of the sea. So apparently, the people in the intelligence community that had just told these flock of morons, keep your mouth shut. Now it's bad enough that you're going to attack Germany, but like I say, it's bad enough to be evil, but it's unforgivable to be evil and stupid. So apparently, Biden and his crew, it appears to me, based on the fact that other members of Congress said it, that it was the most well-known secret on Capitol Hill. Everybody's running around, members of Congress, yes, sir, we'll stop Nord Stream. Nord Stream's got to be stopped. We got a plan. We'll stop it, right? So apparently Biden and his flock of neocon, he must have just went to a neocon meeting. Hey, everybody, with a megaphone. Attention, everyone. Shh, shh. Hey. The president's talking. Quiet down back there. Hey, just wanted to let everybody know it can't leave this room. There's how many people in the room? 512. Okay. 12. I thought there was only 500 people in Congress. Never mind. Oh, servers. Okay, my bad. Hey, guys, we're blowing Nord Stream. Okay. Don't tell anybody, especially servers. Can you keep your mouth shut? Okay, whatever. Hey, we're blowing Nord Stream. Let's have a toast. A toast to Nord Stream being blown. And look at me behind me on the wall. There's a big picture of a pipeline blowing up. Yay! We're blowing Nord Stream. So what happens? They blow Nord Stream, and everybody's like, well, Biden said he was going to blow Nord Stream. And apparently what happened was the people who are in intelligence community who had said to Biden, we don't want to do it, but you're telling us to do it, but you're going to have to keep your mouth shut. Let's just say they weren't pleased with the level of stupidity of Biden and his inner circle. And here's what I said then. The leaks have started, and they ain't going to stop till Biden and Blinken and these people go down. That's what I said. Chuck Schumer said this to Trump. The intelligence community's got 6 waves from Sunday to get you, right? And yeah, that's true. Now, I got to say this. Geez, Trump must have been clean. They went after this guy for like the last 7 years. And what they get him on? Paying off a porn star for a little bit of, you know what I mean? I mean, let's face it. Most people are looking at him and they're like, he's a rich guy with a lot of money. And he's, hooing with a porn star and passing her 130 grand under the table. Ain't none of my business. That's between you and Melania. So they went after Trump for like 7 years, and this is what they got. But everybody knows that the Biden team, who they are, right? So at any rate, I digress. Well, my position then, as I said, was that the intelligence community is pissed. They're furious. They're angry at Biden's people, right? And one of the things that Hirsch said, apparently, that he got from intelligence, when talking about Blinken and Newland and these people, were a couple of things: that intelligence didn't like them, the people couldn't stand them, and a couple of the reasons. One was because they said, this guy doesn't have any background. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That the Biden team, that they don't know what they're doing, the neocons. In other words, that was a professional way of saying they're blithering idiots. And that they were liars. The intelligence community, apparently, or whoever came to Seymour Hersh, said, basically, these neocons, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have any history doing this. They don't understand what the hell they're doing, and they are liars. And as if you read what Hersh said, he said they lie. They just make things up. Right? Here's the bottom line. These people don't mind going around the world and lying about everything they're doing around the world. They're overthrowing countries, and they don't mind lying and saying we're not. They're stealing the resources of other countries. They don't mind lying and saying we're not. But what they don't like is they don't like to be lied to in their inner circle. And the problem that you have with sociopaths like Blinken and these clowns is they lie to everybody. They're just liars. They're pathological liars. Sociopaths don't lie because they need to get out of something. They lie because they're sociopaths. It's what they do. It's why birds fly. It's why fish swim. It's what they do. It's not something it's what they are. It's not what they do. So these sociopaths pissed off the intelligence community. And here's what I'm getting to. My point was this. I've said it on air. I've said it on here. Some of the people here may have remembered me saying this. When I saw how pissed the intelligence community was, and I saw leak A, and then I saw the next leak to respond to that, and I saw a leak where they said, look, this freaking 6 Ukrainian sailboat story is about the biggest pile of bullcrap I've ever seen in my life. That was, again, coming from the intelligence community, right? And in fact, let me tell you something that happened. I was on the air, and I said on the air in DC, I said, look, the sailboat story is so pathetic. It is so absurd. There can be one of two things, two options. Option A, the CIA, obviously the intelligence came up with this story, is so stupid and incompetent that it's unfathomable. It's unfathomable how stupid and incompetent these people are far stupider than we could have ever imagined if they put forward this sailboat story and they believed it. And they thought we were going to believe it. Option 2. They did it on purpose. That Biden came to them and said, I need a story. And they said, oh, yeah, you mother, you done made us look bad. You wouldn't listen to us. You ran your mouth. Oh, we will give you a story. Yes, we will give you a story. It'll be a story so preposterous, so absurd that anybody who reads that story will laugh and say it's preposterous and absurd. And the story will be a second indictment on you. The sailboat story was so stupid. Realistically, it came across, it's like when someone says an insincere apology is a second insult. A stupid alibi is basically a confession. I felt all along that the sailboat story, remember, I felt as though the intelligence people are out to get Biden and the neocons because they hate their guts for a number of reasons. They want them out. And I felt as though the sailboat story is so stupid that they did that on purpose. Let's come up with a story so cockamamie, so absurd, so preposterous that anybody looks at it will say, well, that story makes no sense. We know you guys did it. Come on, really? Can you come up with a better story than that? All right, so let's look. Let's go to where we are. Remember, my position was, and here's what I said time and again. I forgot to say this before I go on. I took that position on the radio. I said that on my show in Los Angeles, my radio show in Los Angeles. I said that on my radio show in Washington, D.C. I said that on my other radio show in Washington, D.C., on Radio Sputnik, on Pacifica, all over. I got radio shows all over the place for now. I'm dropping some at the end of the month. But my point is, my position was that that story is so cockamamie that it was meant to expose them. And next thing you know, I read an article from Seymour Hersh, and it says the intelligence said the story is so preposterous, basically, that it was meant to expose them. That they knew nobody would believe that story, so they put that story out there to as a confession, as a second indictment against the Biden people. And I thought, hey, they're listening to me, or maybe I'm just right. Well, hell, intelligence is listening to me. For God's sake, I'm on Radio Sputnik, and then I'm on Pacifica. I'm all over the place, and I'm pushing back against the mainstream stuff. So they're listening. But at any rate, let's move forward. So remember, my position months ago was they pissed off intelligence. Intelligence is going to go after Biden and Newland and Blinken, and they ain't going to stop until they get them. That's my position. They're going after them, and they ain't going to stop until they get them, right? Garland's position. What happened recently with Tony Blinken? Anybody remember? I did a video on it. Recently, former CIA Assistant Director Mike Morrell comes out and says, "Here's a Mitch right there. Tony Blinken, he's the one who set up the 51 former intelligence agents who say that Hunter Biden's laptop story had all the earmarks of Russian information." Former CIA puts the finger on Blinken, puts the finger right on him, fingers Blinken, and says, that mofo right there, he's the one that did it, right? Remember what I said from the very beginning, they ain't going to stop until they get him. Biden is not running 2024. I don't know how much longer he's going to be around. They ain't going to stop till they get Biden. The CIA, the intelligence community has their eye on Blinken, Newland, Sullivan, and Biden, and they're not going to stop till they get them. And they're going to leak on all four of them, and all four of them are filthy, and they ain't going to stop until they get them. They want some get backs, as Snoop always says. I always mention that great American philosopher Snoop Doggy Dogg. They want some get backs. Snoop is a funny guy, to tell you the truth. Snoop is hilarious to me. He cracks me up. I love his advertisements. He's just like cool. There's nobody like Snoop Dogg. He's hilarious. All right, let's go. Here we go. Filthy little Joe Biden. Yeah, do. Look at that look. Look at that face. Whistleblower accuses Joe Biden of taking bribe from foreign national. Senior Republicans demand FBI releases information on alleged payment made while Biden was vice president. Now, here's the next thing, too. It's in mainstream. Isn't that interesting? The mainstream, they won't touch a lot of stuff, but they touched this one, didn't they? Two senior Republicans are demanding the FBI release a document in which a whistleblower, I wonder who, almost like maybe somebody from the inside of the FBI or the CIA, almost like some intelligence official wanted to take Biden down, right? All right. In which a whistleblower alleges Joe Biden took a bribe from a foreign national when he was vice president. It don't take a whistleblower to know that Joe Biden took a bribe from a foreign national. And you know what? Whichever country you don't like, name them. Were they from China? Sure. Ukraine? Absolutely. Romania? You name it. Paraguay? Bottom line is this. If they're handing out a bag of money, Joe Biden's hand is out. His hand is open for business. If you got some cash, you got Joe Biden. The Biden family, the Biden team was rotten to the core. Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley and James Comer, chairman of the House Oversight Committee, claimed the document includes a precise description of how the alleged criminal scheme was employed as well as its purpose. Think of this. So what they're saying now is a whistleblower from inside the intelligence community has said there's a document. Now, here's what I'll tell you. A lawyer is not going to ask a question they can't answer. So they're saying that there's a document, right, inside the FBI that includes a precise description of how the alleged criminal scheme was employed as well as its purpose. Here's what I'm going to tell you. They got a copy of it. Remember what Garland Nixon did for a living. I was an investigator. I was not just an investigator. I was a commander of the investigations division. I worked for the Attorney General's office for the state of Maryland doing investigations. I worked directly, appointed directly for the governor of the state of Maryland. I taught investigations. I know this stuff. If these politicians come forward and they say there's a whistleblower came to us and they say we demand a document, and they can tell you what's on the document. That document includes a precise description of how the alleged criminal scheme was employed as well as its purpose. They got that damn document. They got it. They didn't. They come on. Hey, we want a document, really? And what's on the document? Well, let's see. It starts, it's just kind of casual. It has everybody's name at the top, then it has the date and things like that. You go down, I think paragraph 3, I believe it is. It says Joe Biden, and it says the name of the guy, well, Bill Smithers. Under that, it has the amount signed at the bottom. There's a little smudge on the right hand side, just below the dog-eared area. I understand that document exists. Haven't seen it for myself, but I hear rumors that such a document might possibly exist. Could you see if you can get your hands on it? They got it, and the people that they are talking to know they have it. I was an insider. I did this stuff at a government level. They got that damn document, and the people know they have that damn document. And Garland Nixon was right. I'm talking in third person, right? I used to watch baseball. Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson steals bases. Ricky Henderson would always talk about himself in third baseman. In third person, he was a hell of a baseball player. That Oakland Athletics team was incredible. But my point being this, I ain't Ricky Henderson. I can't steal bases, and I'm not a very good hitter. But that's not what the point is here. The point is, okay, so Congressman Comer, whose committee is investigating the Biden's family business dealings, has issued a subpoena for the document. The information provided by a whistleblower raises concerns that then Vice President Biden allegedly engaged in a bribery scheme with a foreign national, he said. Mr. Comer added, the American people need to know if President Biden sold out the United States to make money for himself. Senator Grassley and I will seek the truth to ensure accountability for the American people. The document is an FBI-generated FD1023. Well, they sure know a hell damn lot about the document, don't they? One might suspect they got a copy of that damn document. The whistleblower, I know how this works. The whistleblower came to them and said, hey, man, can you protect me? I got some info. Yeah, it's on Biden. He's filthy to the core. Really? Yeah, take a look at this. Holy great jumping Jehoshaphat. He's a dead man. We got him now. All right. But you didn't hear it from me. No problem. Hey, there's a document. It's a form FD1023, I believe. And it says the following on it. Give us a copy right away. They got it. The FBI knows they got it. So the document is an FBI-generated FD1023 form, which allegedly has details of the scheme, and the subpoena is demanding the agency release any FD1023Ss, 1023s, and accompanying documents which contain the word Biden. They know there's more. In fact, isn't it interesting that they ask for more documents? Because they got them all. They got them all. They ask for more documents because they got everything. Top to bottom, they got everything they need. So not only are they asking the FBI, they're sending, and the FBI people know. Remember, I know this stuff. You might not know this. I worked with the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. I know the FBI. I know this stuff. I may seem like some schmuck on YouTube, and granted I am, but in my professional life, I knew what the hell I was doing, and I rose to a pretty high rate. And I can tell you right now, at a high level, I can tell you right now that they got everything. Everything they need, they have. They're reviewing it. And what they're doing now, they're looking at it, and now they're going to say to the FBI, I want all of it. And if the FBI doesn't give them all of it, and they have all of it, then they can go after them and say, you sure you're not hiding anything, brother? Sure, you gave us everything. We did ask you for everything with the name. Are you positive? We just want to ask you one more time. That's all. Just one more time. Could there possibly be any other documents with the word name Biden related to this that you're holding out? And I think you better think about that really good. And the FBI is going to cough up the rest of the documents. But the FBI knows what I know, that they already got them. So the FBI's got to give them everything. Now, keep in mind this. Inside the intelligence community, there's people that want to take Biden down. So they could already be set. Everything could already be set. They could have taken the documents out, ironed them, smoothed them over, made copies for everybody. Here's your copy, Grassley. Here's your copy, Comer. Now, all you got to do is make us give them to you. Here's your copies. Now give us a subpoena, and then we'll give you these copies, and you can say, that you've never seen them before. All be set. When Biden pissed off those people, when he ran his stupid fat mouth about Nord Stream, he doomed himself. So now, right now, they're investigating Blinken for this 51, and Blinken is sweating, man. Have you read his? Well, if you listen to me, I went over his response, and he's sweating. Blinken is sweating. He ain't sleeping at night. He's tossing and turning from side to side because they got Blinken. They got him. And now it's Biden. That leaves only Newland and Sullivan, doesn't it? That leaves only Newland and Sullivan. You watch, you keep your eye on what comes out about Newland and Sullivan. Senator Grassley, the Republican ranking member on the Senate Banking Committee, added, "We believe," now listen to this, "we believe the FBI possesses an unclassified internal document that includes very serious and detailed allegations implicating the current president of the United States." You know why they believe it? Because they got copies of it. They don't believe it. They know. That's awful suspicious. Yeah, they got a document. In fact, it's an FD 1023, and it has detail. They read the damn thing. What we don't know is what, if anything, the FBI has done to verify these claims or investigate further. So they're putting the FBI on the hot seat, because now they're saying, really, if I'm in the FBI and I know what I know, I'm a professional. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say, guys, they got the documents. They got them. I mean, if somebody says to me, if I'm the FBI's general counsel, and they come to me, Counselor Nixon, yes. What do you have to tell us? Oh, your ass is grass, buddy. You're screwed. Number one, you're done. You're toast. Here's what you got. Number one, they got the documents. You could rest be short of that. Number two, they know that everything they need to know about this. Now, you better ask yourself whether you investigated these charges, because they know whether you did or not. And if you didn't, which you didn't, there may be hell to pay. You may want to do everything you can to try to work with them, to cooperate with them. And then, see, the FBI's got one of two choices. They can do everything they can to fight it, or they can do everything they can to cooperate with them. If I was the counsel, I'd say you do everything you can to counsel and try to work out a deal. Try to work out some deals. You know you're dirty. You know you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You can work out some deals, and this is the way it works. You will rat out everything you know in return for maybe immunity. Hey, if you don't lock me up for not investigating this stuff, which I should have done, I'll tell you everything I know. So you got to have some talk. They're having some talks in the inside. So we believe the FBI possesses an unclassified internal document. They know that it exists. They got it. That includes very serious and detailed allegations implicating the current president of the United States. That's why I came on to do this, because this is very serious. This is keep an eye on this one. What we don't know is what, if anything, the FBI has done to verify these claims or investigate further. So what they're saying now is, we're not just looking at Joe Biden. We're looking at you too. We're looking at you, Joe Biden. We're looking at you, and FBI. We're looking at you, FBI, because you had this stuff. Now, what do we know about the FBI? We know that the FBI got the Biden laptop, that they had the Biden laptop for a year. And rather than look into the Biden laptop, instead they went to social media and they said to them, if anybody says anything about a Biden laptop, it's Russian disinformation, so you've got to censor it. But they had it and they knew it wasn't Russian disinformation. So we already know the FBI is crooked. Now we find out that they got an internal document where they knew that they had information that Biden was involved in a bribery scheme, and they didn't look into it. I'm betting they didn't. That's why they're asking. Attorneys don't ask questions unless they already know the answer. They're not going to ask you, well, we want to know what you did about it. They already know what you did about it. That's why they're asking. Nothing. They want you to come to them and lie. So now they're saying, we want to know what did you do about it? You tell us. Tell us what you did about it, FBI. And then they're going to ask them for all the paperwork. Did you investigate it? Who investigated it? We want all the information on that. They're in deep. Biden is in deep and serious trouble, and somebody in the FBI is in deep and serious trouble. And here's what they say: the FBI's recent history of botching politically charged investigations demands close congressional oversight. They didn't botch anything. Botch implies that you tried to do it, or at least good faith. You screwed it up. They didn't screw anything up. I work with the FBI. Let me tell you something. They're smart. Everybody there, you can get in with a 4-year degree, but like all the people I work with, they had postgraduate degrees. A lot of them had went to law school, you name it, psychologists, you name it. The people who are in the FBI are highly educated. They ain't botching a damn thing. They know what they're doing. A lot of them attorneys, they know what they're doing. If they don't do it, it ain't because they screwed up. Let's keep going. Speaking on Fox News, Mr. Grassley added, we really need to know what steps did the Justice Department and FBI take to investigate and vet the document to determine if it's accurate or not. Nothing. That's what they did, and Grassley knows it. And did the Justice Department and the FBI follow normal investigative procedures, or did they let political calculations interfere? Why would they ask that question? Unless they already did, they know the answer. See, if you heard that, you would say, normally what you would say is, look, we understand that there's a document that Biden was up to crooked behavior. We'd like to see everything you've got, and we'd like to see the results of the investigation. Because you would assume that there was an investigation, but what are they saying? Did they investigate it? Did they follow normal procedures? Did they let political calculations interfere? Why would you even ask that question? They only ask it if I've been involved in this stuff. You only ask it because you already know the answer, and you're putting pressure on them. You're putting pressure on them. You already know the answer, and you're putting pressure on these mutts. Mr. Grassley has repeatedly alleged the political bias has influenced the FBI when deciding whether and how to investigate the Biden's family foreign business arrangements. It's all set. They know what time it is on Biden. They got it. The Biden family has been in Republican sights for some time, but the prime target has been President's son Hunter. Homing in on the president represents a significant escalation of the campaign. Escalation of the campaign. They're investigating this guy. These people investigated everything Trump did, what he had. Hey, wait a minute. I understand Trump had Russian dressing for lunch. Oh, no. We got to look into that. And now it's an escalation. If they look into the fact that there's an allegation from a whistleblower that Biden was involved in bribery and that the FBI deliberately covered it over. That's an escalation of the campaign now. That's the kind of rhetoric you get in this crap. They talk about Hunter Biden. The 4-year investigation, the U.S. Department. Listen to this. They talk about Hunter Biden, and then they say a 4-year investigation by the U.S. Justice Department into alleged tax and gun violations is reportedly nearing a conclusion. According to the Washington Post, the department is expected to announce soon whether charges will be filed. Let me tell you something. Garland Nixon was an investigator. Ran an investigations division. It doesn't take 4 years to look into that. It doesn't take 4. When you're the FBI, you've got almost unlimited resources. If you're investigating the president's son, it ain't taken for a 4-year investigation, indeed. Responding to the allegations on Twitter, White House counsel spokesman Ian Sams dismissed the allegations as unfounded and politically motivated. He added, for going on 5 years now, Republican Congress have been lobbying unfounded, politically motivated attacks against Biden. He's only been in for 2 years. He hasn't even been in what has he been in? For 2 years. And now they say for 5 years. They've been lobbying attacks at President Biden without offering evidence. He wasn't president. So, come on, look at it. So apparently Biden's spokesperson is an idiot. Hey, we got evidence that Biden's doing something wrong. Yeah, you've been after President Biden for 5 years. Yeah, but he's only been president for 2. Whatever. Without offering evidence for their claims or evidence of decisions influenced by anything other than U.S. interests. That's what they're asking for now, is evidence of their claims. They don't have any evidence. Precisely. That's why they're saying to the FBI, we want what you got. If there's evidence, give it to us. If there ain't, say there's no such thing exists. They got a whistleblower. So now it's like they have no evidence. And what are they doing right now? Oh, yeah, they're demanding evidence. So bottom line, you get what I'm getting at here. Methinks that Biden is in a world of deep and serious guana. he's in real trouble. And he's in real trouble, not because of being a crook, because he's a crook and everybody around him is a crook. From Mitch McConnell to Nancy Pelosi to every last one of them, they're filling their rotten, filthy, stinking pockets, right? But he ran his mouth when it came to Nord Stream, and the people in the intelligence agencies put their crosshairs on him. And he's going down now. I suspect this could be it. And besides, here's the other thing. They know they can't run this guy for 2024. They may want to move early. They may want to be like, we can't run this. We really can't run this guy. Okay. We cannot run this guy. Right. So they may be like, we got to get him out of the way because we can't run him, because he's a friggin' disaster waiting to happen. He's wandering around, with his hands out like this. Have you seen him? He wanders around with his both hands sticking, looking like the robot on the danger, Will Robinson, danger. Both hands sticking right out, right? Looking for somebody, some ghost mystery person to shake their hands. He's pathetic. He's an embarrassment. They realize they can't run him in 2024 because he doesn't know where the hell he is. They realize that he's an idiot because he ratted them out for Nord Stream bombing and humiliated them all. And now they're going to get their get backs on Joe Biden. He's going down. Blinken, he's set up. I can't wait to see Tony Blinken. I'd love to see that guy frog marched with his head down, his hands cuffed behind him, a sweater over his head as they take him out. It's right this way there, former Secretary Blinken, and you will be processed, right? He's got it coming. Tell you that. Blinken's got that coming. But, all of this going after Trump business, and the least they the most they could get at it from him was sleeping with a porn star. And let's face it, she was kind of hot and he's rich and it was wrong. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it. But at least people could look at it and say, hey man, that was wrong, man. You got a really beautiful model wife here and all that kind of stuff. And that was wrong. You shouldn't have done that. But you're a rich guy in New York and DC, and you're screwing around with porn stars on the side and handling loads of money. That's kind of way the game is played. In those power circles, we understand Trump. That's the way the game's played. So okay, we're basically Trump gets a pass on that, because in the circles of rich people, everybody knows the super rich people like Trump, the billionaires, whatever the hell, they all got some porn star-esque kind of person on the side, and they're handing them loot. That's the way the game plays. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But that's the best they could get for Trump, which is just like I got an office my office is on K Street. Trust me, walk out and look what you see going on K Street. That's kind of like the equivalent of a traffic ticket for these billionaire guys. They're all doing it. So the bottom line is, that's that. I think that good old Joe Biden has his days are numbered when it comes to being president. I think that Blinken is going down, and I would keep an eye out for Newland and Sullivan. There'll be some leaks on them next because they got those documents. Thanks a lot, everybody. I understand. I don't think there's any super chat. Oh. Well, we're going to go to the top. There are a few super chats, and I got to answer my super chats, except sometimes in the morning when I'm really late for work, late for the bus. Raphael's back. Biden and Trump will be out by December. That's funny. And let's see what else we got. We got a couple more super chats. Richard Adams, I don't understand the blackmail thing. The stuff that's already out in the open is crazy and nothing ever happens. Yeah, but Richard, they want him now. They want him. And the thing about it is, let me say this about the blackmail. Biden's probably so crooked, there's any matter of 100 things they could have got him for. They just chose an easy one. Bottom line, they could have got him on anything. They just chose something that was easy. They just chose to pick the layup. The channel Alien Jacket has a satire video of this. Oh, wonder, at Alien Jacket. Wonderful. Thank you. Glad to know that. And we got more. Kinky too says, great show. Thanks, Carl. And Kinky, stay in touch. I never hear from Kinky anymore. Me and Kinky are like this. We're tight. Right, Kinky? All right. I think that is that. I'm going to look on Rockfin. No. Well, let me see. Could Kamala please lock up Brandon? She has her nose under the tent already. Kamala's about as bright as a block of cement. And that is not enforced, and that is not an endorsement of Kamala. I'm sure it isn't. Let's see what we got. Uh, 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 uh. Finn Boy Slick, thank you again for wonderful content, Garland. In case you do notice your Twitch audience tonight, I sure do. Thanks a lot. Chicken Patty, thanks again, Garland. Much love. Chicken Patty, hooray! And for those of you who are new and might not know, Chicken Patty is in fact the philosophical backbone, the philosophical heart of this channel. This channel could not exist without the support of Chicken Patty. So Chicken Patty is an integral part of what we're trying to accomplish here. The brilliance of Chicken Patty should not be underestimated. Somebody who, what the hell, Shawnee says, send Biden one of them colored rainbow gender walks and run him other than just say he was colorblind. All right, way to go. There's somebody blah, 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 blah. What did the Tin Man say when it got run over by a steamroller? Curse is foil again. Anything else? When one does not believe in something, they will believe everything. Well, you know, it's Malcolm X said, "A man who doesn't stand for anything doesn't stand for something will fall for anything." Attorney General Merrick Garland just levitates, just slightly out of reach of the frantic Trump tards, whatever that means. So, anything else? Nothing wrong with that. I agree. Life is short. Enjoy it while you can. Kinky, we got to listen to what Kinky says. I can't wait until Biden's Alzheimer's finally prevents Biden from knowing how to read a teleprompter. Oh, happy day. Dusto Jovanovsky says, a man tells his doctor, Doc, help me. I'm addicted to Twitter. The doctor replies, sorry, I don't follow you. The doctor joke I like is the guy says to his doctor, guy says to his doctor, well, doctor, what's the prognosis? The doctor says, I got bad news and worse news. He says, okay, give me the bad news first. The guy says, you only got 24 hours to live. The guy says, for God's sake, what news could be worse than that? The doctor says, I forgot to tell you yesterday. Hey, what do we got here? Right, Balk John Duma, thanks. Another doctor joke. Guy goes to the doctor. Doctor says, well, he says, what do you think, doctor? The doctor says, well, you got 6 months to live. He says, oh, well, he says, well, one good thing, doc. He says, what's that? He says, well, based on the amount of money in my payments, I ain't gonna be able to pay the bill off in 6 months. The doctor says, all right, then I'll give you another 6. You got a year to live. Oh my, we'll have to listen to replay again. Tribunals didn't defeat the Nazis. Tribunals won't beat Russia. Silly Zelensky. Gamer, lock him up on Wikipedia. There's nothing. Well, guys, I think, and girls, and people, and what do we call them? And Nixon YouTube is burying you. They're burying me. Well, that's okay. You know why? Because I got friends. We got 1,100 people, so they can bury me all we want to. Here's all I ask, that all 1,100 of you click the like button. Let's see. Here we go. How many doctors does it take to change a light bulb? It depends on how good the light bulb's insurance is. Oh, that's a good one. Putin's tankies sure have a hate boner for President Zelensky. Yada, yada, yada. Putin's tankies have a hate boner for Zelensky, huh? Interesting. We're going to leave that person on. Let's say, I need a yawn, Garland, or I'm leaving the chat. I'm sorry, I'm not in a yawning mood. This is exciting to me. Exciting. Blinken, he's getting his comeuppance. Biden's getting his. Man, I can't yawn. This ain't a yawner, my friend. Camilla, I almost forgot about Camilla V. Camilla V and I are tight. I love Camilla V. Camilla V says, oh my, we'll have to listen to replay again. Thanks a lot. It's a good one, Camilla. Anything else? Let's look down. Gamer, please don't take offense. I didn't mean to offend you. Putin has tankies. Good analysis. My pronouns are ma'am and moth. That's a good one. All right, guys. I think I've had enough of this abuse from you guys. So any normal person would hate the Nazi enabling crook. Canadian. Finn Boy Slick over on, man, you know what? This is great. Finn Boy Slick is on Twitch or something like that. Whatever the hell that is. BitChute, Twitch. I don't know. Canadian doctors know it's cheaper to just throw the light bulb away. I think that's it. Hey, Kinky 2, what kind of kinky are you? Well, there was Kinky and Kinky 2. I think it's the same Kinky. Wait a minute. I think I saw Kinky there somewhere. Kinky might have something to say. Kinky 2 says, free respectful speech channel. That's right. Well, foolishness out of you guys. Don't be disrespecting Kinky. If you're going to disrespect Kinky, you gotta go through me. All right, thanks a lot, guys. We had a lot of fun tonight, and I'm rolling out of here. I think I'm gonna go lay on the couch and watch the friggin' 76ers and the Celtics. How about that? Something to do. What the hell? But don't forget, everybody, share this on a like and share this everywhere on all of your social media platforms. And as I always say, don't forget there's Rockfin. Go to Rockfin. Make sure that you follow me there. Make sure you become a member. It's very important in case they toss me the hell off here. Oh, thanks a lot. I got to say this. Thanks a lot for Ian Moon for a super sticker. Thanks a lot, Camilla V. And of course, as I said, there's buymeacoffee.com if you can in some way, shape, or form, financially donate to the channel. Buymeacoffee.com is great. I've got all my other stuff scrolling across, Cash App, you name it. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good night. Peace. I'm out.